Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com. Chosen ones, empaths, when dealing with the aftermath of the experience you had with the narcissist in your life, it can be really traumatic. That's not to say that the whole experience, even when you were with them, is not traumatic, but the aftermath can be particularly traumatic, you see, and you completely lose yourself. Throughout the whole duration of the relationship, you were losing yourself slowly and slowly. They were chipping away at you, and you were completely losing yourself. But the thing is you didn't realize you were losing yourself. So at the time of a discard or a reverse discard, and you know what? Even if you cut them off because they become too toxic, at the time of the ending, right? You become completely out of touch with reality and yourself. And the best way to overcome the trauma of the narcissistic relationship is to find yourself again. Now, finding yourself again, that can consist of loving yourself because your self-esteem is low. It can consist of having the right people around you, you know, because you start to wake up to toxicity from other individuals very quickly. You start to see toxicity from all angles. It's like this narcissist experience with this narcissist in your life birthed your awakening to see toxicity from all angles. So find the right company to be around, you know. But the main thing to overcome this trauma that you feel you've gone through, the hurt, the betrayal, the pain, is to find yourself. You see, on the healing journey, embarking on the healing journey, you've literally, it's like starting from zero again. I'm not trying to make it daunting for you, but it is. You're having a total overhaul. You're having a total reset, you know. You may be very defensive. You may have your guard up very tightly. You may have your guard up, and that's good, you know, because not all victims of narcissistic abuse behave in that way. You see, there's many victims of narcissistic abuse that go through the chaotic ending of the narcissist involved in their life, and they find themselves in new relationships very quickly. Probably because they've seen the narcissist involved in their life get involved in the relationship quickly again. And just for the benefit of the video, this doesn't just have to be romantic relationships. This could be friendships, family members, colleagues, family, associates. You know, this could be disconnecting with the narcissist involved in your life that's a friend, and then you see the narcissist that was involved in your life, which is a friend, start being around and affiliated with loads of other people, and you feel left out. Or it could be a family member that's isolated you and cut you off, or, you know, it could be anything, right? But you really need to find yourself again. It's the only way. And the quicker you know this, the quicker that you realize this, that you need to go on a self-discovery, a search of self-discovery, finding yourself again, the quicker you realize this, the better it is, you know. If this is very soon that it has happened to you, or even if it's been a while, but you haven't come across this information yet about finding yourself, the quicker you realize this, is you're going to cover a lot of ground, you see, because a lot of victims of narcissistic abuse don't realize that they need to find themselves. You see, they don't even realize they've lost themselves. They may feel like they've lost everything around them. You see, they may feel like they've lost a relationship that was once so important to them. They may have lost finances, for instance. They may have lost even connections with their children because the narcissist is being controlling or whatnot. But they don't realize that they've actually lost themselves spiritually within their soul. You see, because they become stagnant. No, I'm not saying that you're stagnant. You may not be. You may be well onto your healing journey, you know, and you're just watching this for educational purposes. But you can be in a really stagnant place. So on the path of finding yourself again, really self-love is a real important factor about finding yourself again, because the narcissist that is involved in your life has made you out to be something that you're not. You know, whatever they've told you that you are, whatever they said that you are, you know, whatever they've told people that you are, you're not that. And rather than having to fight against it and try and tell people that this isn't the case, or, you know, getting frustrated and things like that, it's best to just go on a journey of self-discovery and finding yourself. Now, you could, you know, take a trip somewhere. It doesn't have to be very far. If it's not in your means to go on if it's not on your means to go on an expensive, lavish holiday, right? It doesn't have to be. It could just be a trip somewhere, you know. And even if you haven't, even if it's not in your means, or you don't feel like going on a journey somewhere, you don't feel like traveling, it could just be getting out the house at the start, you know. Getting out the house, going on walks. Walking really releases endorphins. It really helps you. You know, I know how it is, you know. You get comfortable. It can seem like a challenge. But, you know, walking, exercise, things of that nature will help you find yourself again too, you see. Because what I'm trying to point you in the direction of is not being preoccupied with thoughts about the narcissist that's involved in your life. And if you go on a long walk, say, just for example, it doesn't have to be a long walk. It might, you might already have a really established gym routine, for instance, you know. So I'm just extract what you can from what I'm saying and disregard the rest. But I'm saying, if you go on a long walk and it will let out pent out anger or rage, you see. Or if you go to the gym, or you do push-ups or sit-ups, it's going to release pent-up rage that you have, or frustration, you see. And if you go on a walk, I just use the walk for an example because it will paint a more vivid picture in your mind. But you may see some people walking past, or you may see a tree, or you may see, you know, anything. You may see some animals. It's going to distract your focus. It's going to distract your mind. So you may go out on that walk really down, really depressed, really upset about the narcissist involved in your life. But by the time you return home after that walk, you'll feel, because of, it's literally a chemical reaction that's going to occur in your brain, and you're going to have dopamine release, or what was the word I just said before? Endorphins. You're going to release endorphins, you see, by this walking. Just a gentle walk, you know. It doesn't even have to be far. But like I said, if it is in your means to go on a trip, or travel somewhere, you know, you can even plan towards it. And like I said on the spiritual channel, I made a video about why traveling solo is sometimes a lot better. Traveling solo can really be beneficial for you. You see, your natural inclination might be that you want to bring a friend along or something like that, or a family member or someone like that. You want to bring someone with you. But honestly, if you do travel solo and you do some things by yourself, that's how you find yourself again. You see, you may go traveling somewhere. It doesn't have to be far. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a lavish, expensive holiday. You know, it could just be going away for the weekend. It could just be going somewhere. If it is in your means to go for longer, go for longer. But, you know, when you're first there, you might go to a restaurant or something like that. And you're thinking about the narcissist that was involved in your life, and you're thinking things about them, and they're really on your mind. But as days pass and you start living the life of being somewhere else, it's just taking you out of your comfort zone a little bit, and it helps decompress any pent-up energy and rage. Now, that's what you can do initially. That's what you need to focus on. So the self-love, the walking, the traveling, you know, some of you may have jobs or you're caregivers for your children or caregivers for your family. So you may have your, what's the right word I can use to describe that? You may have your priorities, but if it's in your means to try and take a little time away so you can just distract yourself a little bit. It's just forming a distraction in your mind, right? But eventually, right, what you need to get onto definitely is shifting your focus into creation. And what I mean by shifting your focus into creation is you've been through this traumatic experience with a narcissist involved in your life, right? And all of you have so much potential and wisdom that you've learned. You're educating yourselves on videos like this and videos alike. You're reading books, perhaps. You're educating yourselves on other topics. Empaths and chosen ones naturally like to be alone. You may not realize it yet, but because you may have been surrounded with loads of people and stuff like that. But naturally, empaths get slightly drained and they need time to recharge. So even if it's you chilling somewhere and looking through stuff on the internet or just learning or reading books or whatever it is you do, right? You've got a lot of information that has been stored in your mind, and you're able to put that into creation. Now, you've heard me mention it many times before, but I have to reinforce the message. Is because I've spoken to victims of narcissistic abuse that have used this shifting their focus into creation as outlet, and this tremendously helps with recovery. You see, let me backtrack a little bit. Like, for instance, say you just went and met someone new, or you just started hanging out with a new bunch of friends or whatever, right? Very suddenly. You haven't rebuilt yourself, you haven't found yourself again, and you're going to miss out on the opportunity of creation. You're going to be able to create something, right? I say the word creation because it's the best way I think I can describe it. Is there any other way I can describe it? It's basically channeling your energy into something, whatever it is. Some of you may have jobs, some of you may be caregivers, some of you may be really have a lot on your plate at the moment. But there's 24 hours in a day, right? And I've heard of authors, they weren't authors at the time. This is their first book, for instance. They used to be caregivers for their children. And they used to set up a stack of books on one side, a stack of books on the other side, and put a plank of wood across. And that was their makeshift desk. And then they would start writing their drafts on a typewriter. And that's how they started off. Now they're an established author. But there's so many people that I've spoken to that have channeled their energy and shifted their focus into creation, right? Now, you might write a book and it might have a dark nature about it, and it might be combined with light, or you may do some artwork that looks like darkness and light. And I did see someone's artwork, and they didn't even realize they had this gift of being artistic. And when I saw the paintings, I was so amazed by their paintings, and this really helped them shift their focus onto something else. They were really like, there was a darkness about it. It was like what their feelings resembled from the narcissist experience on a page, right? Now, when I say creation doesn't just have to be writing a book or painting a picture. It could be anything that you want to create, right? You have the ability to create something, right? You all have the ability to create. Just like you're created in the womb and a human being's born, you have the gift of creation. Creation doesn't just have to be children, you know? Creation doesn't just have to be children. Creation can be whatever it is you put your mind to and focus on. So if you can do this, like really try to shift your focus onto creation. So all the while, don't forget about building yourself with self-love, doing the walks, or doing some exercise, or releasing pent-up rage and anger, and then shift your focus into creation. This is the best way to overcome the trauma of the narcissistic relationship, right? Don't victimize yourself, you know? You're a victim of narcissistic abuse, but it doesn't define you. It doesn't define you, right? It does not define you. You may be suffering with depression. You may be suffering with other mental health issues. None of those mental health issues or depression or anything like that defines you for who you are as a human being. You have the ability to create something. Creation could be you starting a YouTube channel, right? You may have already started a YouTube channel, and you maybe started work, or you got involved with a narcissist and they distracted you from your purpose. They distracted you from that mission, you know? Pick up the phone, make a video, post it, you know? If I can give any advice, it's just to, on the YouTube subject, it's just to consistently post, even when you're not seeing views come in, or subscribers say, you know. I remember when I had like 3 subscribers. One of them was a friend, one of them was another friend, and one of them was myself. But I kept putting videos out, and I was getting some views, and I think I went a matter of months before I even got a real organic subscriber. So there's work that you have to do for YouTube to really pick up on in the algorithm, to pick up on your videos. I'm no expert. I'm just giving you the advice that I know. And it's to consistently post. Some people say you should post every day. Some people say you should post once a week. Some people say you should post every other day. Like, it's down to you what you want to do. But what I'm trying to say is try and be consistent. I know it's hard. You know, there's only 24 hours in a day. And you may have a lot of priorities on your plate. But if you can channel your energy into creation of videos, you know, do it. You know, you've got a story to tell. You can do it. It could be anything. But what I just want you to do is shift your focus into something, into channeling your energy into something else other than this parasite narcissist that was involved in your life. Because the longer you fester, the longer you stagnate, the longer you allow rumination to overwhelm you, right, is the longer you're going to stay stuck, right? And I should have probably said this at the beginning of the video for those that have already tuned out. But this self-love that you build yourself with, it's going to happen naturally. You know, it's going to happen naturally. You're going to do it. Sometimes it will take longer for others to do it than some people. Some people may do it quicker than others. There's no race. There's no competition. All victims of narcissistic abuse are heading in the same direction. You're going to naturally do this stuff anyway. But if you're hearing this on this video now, it will help you. You're going to find yourself again. You're going to find yourself again. And your focus is going to shift into something of creation. So many victims of narcissistic abuse, more than I can count on my fingers and toes, that I've spoken to, have shifted their focus into creation. They're not superhuman or something special. They're human just like you are. An empath and a chosen one just like you are, right? And they've realized through the grace of God or the universe guiding them, however you want to look at it, has caused them to find purpose and meaning to their existence. And all of them will say, and you will say too, that you're so glad that this relationship with the narcissist ended. Gone will be the feelings of thinking that you wish that you could have worked it out or anything like that. You won't have any thoughts like that. You'll be glad that they're gone. You'll be glad that they're gone from your life. You'll be pleased. You'll be thankful. You'll be grateful, right? You won't care. You'll reach the point of indifference. You won't care about them. You won't look on their social media. You won't care who they're with. You won't care what they're doing. This is where the direction you're heading, and it's naturally going to occur. But if you stay stuck and stay depressed, it's just going to prolong the natural occurrence of what needs to happen to your life, right? So if you can take these tips, like I said, filling yourself with self-love, channeling your energy into focus, into creation, releasing any pent-up rage with walking, exercise, etc. Finding yourself again. You've got the tips to overcome the trauma of this narcissistic relationship. And this trauma won't define you. It's not going to happen overnight. Take it a day at a time, right? Someone who I spoke to said, one day longer, one day stronger. It's a good quote. You know, that's the way you need to look at it. One day longer, one day stronger. I hope they don't mind me using that quote. But, you know, just, you're going to do it. You're going to do it anyway, you know. Might be a year from now, you stumble upon something in creation, and you're like, geez, like I watched that video like all that time ago. Now you're actually doing it, you know. It's not going to happen overnight. Don't rush anything, you know. If you rush things in life, sometimes, you know, it's the hustle and bustle of life. You need to rush to work. You rush in the morning to have breakfast, you know. It's very fast-paced, this life. But on your journey of trying to find yourself again, don't rush it. And on your journey of shifting your focus into creation, don't rush it neither. Just put the work in that you need to put in. And if you want to know why the narcissist is plagued with regret, click this video here. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.